Now I want to talk about this trending story involving a few people. A popular streamer by the name of Plaqueboy Max, rapper Lil Tjay, and rapper Fabio Foreign. You might have heard about the story because it's trending on social media right now, but streamer Plaqueboy Max invited Lil Tjay and Fabio Foreign to one of his streams. It was a cook-up session where they were essentially making music while they were on live. Now the meat and potato...
I'm not gonna lie, I forgot that he shows his face on videos now. That shit kind of jump scared me. No disrespect, not like that, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, if you've been watching like Blackie Speaks or any if you've been like in the hip hop side of YouTube for like mad long, chances are somebody you has watched a video on their like stream or whatever, and he used to never show his face, so that shit still surprises me to this day.
Those other stories that Lil Tjay and Fabio Foreign ended up lighting up a J inside the spot. It was an Airbnb that Max had rented out for the purpose of this session. And he initially saw Lil Tjay lighting up while the stream was going on, and he noticed and told him, "Hey bro, you can't do that in here because the smoke alarm will go off."
They carried a lighter for the whole bit.
Who's smoking? Who's smoking? Yo, TJ.
What's up? Who the
Yo, this a B&B. You can't smoke in here. This shit don't go off. Yeah, I appreciate you though.
And then a minute or two goes by and he tells him the same thing because Lil Tjay wasn't listening. It took him a couple of times, like 3 or 4 times, before Max had to bring it up one final time, making it very clear that the show can't go on if they don't respect his wishes. And then that's when he one final time kind of walked up to them and he told them, he was like, "Hey, you guys can go to the back if you want to smoke, the backyard."
Dude, that beat is hard.
Yo, bro. Yo, you can't smoke in here. This shit gonna go off. Like, please. I appreciate you.
Now, a few things happened after that. One of them being that Fabio Foreign decided to...
So there's some people that think that appreciate you part sounds disrespectful. Lil Tjay was one of those people, but like, which I can understand if you don't like the tone of the appreciate you or whatever, but like, you know, that's just something people say to like genuinely show like, yo, thank you for actually, you know what I'm saying, caring about what I'm telling you, blah 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 blah, or you know, just, you know, respecting the wishes of my home. It's like, you know what I mean, I say appreciate you all the time, so that's why I can understand Max's side of it, but like from like this kind of niggas that do this, that wear this and throw up seats and shit like that, they're probably not gonna think of it like that. I guess everything's a hood nigga excuse when it comes to rappers being assholes for some reason. I don't know why that's the case.
blow smoke in his face before he left. That's right. He not only blew smoke in his face, but they both ended up leaving after that. So that sounds pretty clear to me. He's like, "Hey bro, this is an Airbnb. You can't smoke in here. The alarm is gonna go off." And he's like, "All right," until he has to tell him once again. I don't know too much about Plaqueboy Max, but one thing's obvious. This man is very patient, but he's also very firm because, you know, he's standing on his principles, which says a lot about him as a person, but most importantly of all, as a man. But a man can only be so patient, and Max got to his breaking point because he stopped the music and he walks up to them, right? I don't know exactly what he says, but he does tell them that you can't be in here doing that, and mentions something about there being a backyard, which is relevant because he's telling them you can go, you know, to the back and do that.
Can you show them where, like, in the back, niggas cannot smoke here? Yo, I'm gonna keep it a buck, bro. If niggas smoking here, I'm gonna have to shut this bitch down. Like,
the crazy thing about this, niggas might call me crazy, but Plaqueboy Max, I actually watch Plaqueboy Max. I've been watching Plaqueboy Max since 2021. Yeah, 2021. This nigga came such a long way, and I'm about to make videos like talking about some of the how he's gonna be like really important to the hip hop space, especially going forward. But what's crazy is like streams could really change the perception of a fan base. You know what I mean? Like, for example, 4-1 with Jen Carter, Kyle Rich, and Tata. I never really watched them. I mean, not watched them. I never really listened to them like that, you know. I never felt like they were bad or nothing. They just didn't really enter my radar. But seeing their impression on his stream and making those like really fire songs made me want to like actually listen to them more. The only thing I listened to them before was like Bent. And now I actually want to hear more of their shit because I like the chemistry on the stream. You could say the same thing even with D Savage. Like, I don't know shit about D Savage if I'm being real. I know like he was like a huge underground influence, but other than that, I don't know nothing about him. And then I see clips of him on Plaqueboy Max's stream making that In the J song. It's like, what you do on stream matters because it's just like any other media outlet. It's just way more genuine than a lot of those public edited spaces because it's live. Not only is it live, it's curated by a person who isn't a huge company. It's just somebody that actually caters to a specific group of people that's been fucking with them 9 times out of 10 for a very, very long time and know him for more than just what he's doing right here on stream, but before his personality and his life and shit. Like, if you've been watching Max, like I've been watching him that long, I know a lot about just how he is and shit like that, just because of, just seeing what he talks about on camera, like listening to what he says, you know what I'm saying? So I fuck with him for his personality, so I fuck with him. I'm gonna fuck with the people around him, like almost like by association, like when you have a friend and your friend introduces you to their friend, and it makes you already like have like you give them the benefit of the doubt type of shit, because like you trust the friend that's introducing you to them. It's the same way. That's damn near what half of like marketing is in certain like artistic agencies, like, and that's like one of them in my opinion. So these niggas Fabio and Lil TJ not really thinking about that or honoring that. I actually am happy, because at least then we don't have to get this fucked up, stupid, like fake perception of them. Like, we know that this is just how they are. And if you fuck with that, you fuck with that. Some hood niggas might love that shit. Some some females might like that shit. I don't know, but niggas like me personally, I don't like that shit. Especially when your music is like not good. Like, to be honest, I hate to say that, but it's like, it's not 2020 no more. It's not 2021 no more. Ever since that off the grid verse, yeah, like maybe one or two solid little verses, and then Lil TJ, I don't know what you been doing. I mean, after you got shot, you made some fire. You made some fire little comeback shit, but it wasn't really that fire, from being real. I don't know, but you know what I'm saying. I actually don't like talking about people's fall ups, because I want the best for artists. You know what I'm saying. At the end of the day, you feeding your family by using a talent. You know what I'm saying, but that don't give you the right to just act the ass. So.
Y'all to the back. Backyard. Like there's a backyard.
That beat was fire beforehand, though.
It's in the back. Can you show him?
Love.
And then before they leave, like we saw, Fabio Foreign, who's about to be 35 in March, mind you, blows clouds right in his face. Now, to be fair, if you looked at the clip, he's responding to someone who's sitting on the left side near Max, and he happens to have a mouth full of clouds and conveniently blows it right in Max's face. Now, a couple important things I want to say in regards to this story. First of all, I'm happy to see that
Okay, so the blowing smoke part, I've seen that too. So the way he's explaining it, he's making it seem like it might be a coincidence, but it's probably not. If he's genuinely deliberately blowing smoke in his face, that's, to me, that's like really like, that's real pussy to me. Like, that's like, I don't know, like, to me that's bitch made. Like, what's the point of that? Like, what's the point? He asked you respectfully, and then and TJ also talked about smacking niggas over, like, you're gonna smack Black Boy Max because he told you not to smoke in the B&B that he's living in currently to do his job. That's gonna benefit you in the long run if you just did that shit well and you weren't invited. So yeah, blowing smoke, like, niggas gotta, like, niggas got such fragile masculinities that they just start doing anything. And it's really pitiful, honestly. It's really pitiful. 35 years old, you don't know how to match the maturity of somebody who is 21. It's kind of pitiful, bro.
majority of people have some sense, because the general consensus seems to be that this was in fact disrespectful. If someone invites you to their space and they have certain rules in place, like you can't smoke inside the property, you got to respect the boundary, point blank period. Because what kind of situation is this? Well, Plague Max, who streams for a living, is working, so this is his workspace. He invites these two rappers to create some music and some content together, so this is a place of business, right? It's no different from going to a meeting as an artist, and the setting in itself might be different, but anyone who takes what they do seriously, they're not going to look at this and have any type of different feelings about it. Like, it's a workspace. So I'm happy that people are on the right side of things. However, on the other hand, we've seen people like this girl right here, Asian Doll. She posted a response to this.
Why are we talking about Asian Doll in the biggest of 2025s? Oh, bro. Because I'm not gonna lie, I didn't even know who she was until like 2020. Whenever King Von died, rest in peace to him. I fucked with Von. Whenever he passed, I just started seeing this girl get dragged in the mud by these spaces on social media. It's like Instagram memes is just clowning her, talking about she's making King Von roll in his grave, and she's like one of the biggest bops to ever like grace the corpses of the hip hop industry. Like, it was some crazy shit. Like, there was mad memes being made about her. I'm like, who is this girl? And come to find out, the more people post, the more I'm seeing, oh shit, she's just trying to basically extrapolate the death and the attention that King Von is getting from him being murdered to like increase her like public perception. Like, oh, I was just, all right, anybody who knows this, not to get it dark, but if you once you reach a certain age, or even before you get a certain age, them girls that post, oh, I was just with him after somebody died. Like, they be on Snapchat like crying and shit, or posting messages like, oh, I was just with him, and it looks mad crazy because he has like a girlfriend at the time, or he was talking to mad other girls. Like, you know what I'm talking about. She's basically was on that shit times 100 because it's a front of like millions of people, and nobody fucking knew you. That's crazy. That's crazy. So that's what I knew her from. And ever since then, it's just been a downward PR spiral for her, from what I've seen personally. Again, I don't know her. I didn't know if she was like I didn't know if she's like a social media star, or like a reality TV person. Apparently, she's a rapper. I had no idea. I had no idea. I haven't heard a single Asian the Brat song ever, but she's talking about some dumb shit. So let me let him talk about it. But basically, I'm just wondering why we're still talking about this person in 2025 after niggas already drug her through the mud over the shit she was doing over King Von to death. You know what I'm saying? This isn't even my personal opinion. This is just what everyone was talking about beforehand. That's why I'm just like super surprised. I don't know, man.
This on Twitter, and this is what she said: don't invite rappers if they can't smoke. So rappers are obviously, according to Asian Doll, above following the rules set by the people in charge of the space they're in. Rappers shouldn't automatically know basic human decency, like respecting someone else's environment just because they're rappers. There's absolutely no logic in what
Niggas wasn't invited too. That's the other thing. Like, brother, oh brother, like, I don't know. She was really tripping. She was really tripping. Not only that, she made it seem, well, why do I have expectations for Asian the Brat? Like, what am I talking about? What is she? It's not like Platboy Max wanted him to not be able to smoke. It's just because of the B&B. Because once that shit goes off and he's kicked out and he can't stream, then well, these niggas going back to their hotels or their houses or wherever they're going, and he's asked out with nowhere to stream. That's really it. She made it like niggas making it seem like he just is trying to be a fucking stickler.
what she's saying. And this actually brings me to a bigger and more important conversation regarding this type of behavior, which of course comes down to class and culture. But before we get into that, let me share something with you that I've heard from countless of people, specifically who work in the music industry. And some people, who've seen the title might already know what I'm going to be talking about. One thing I've heard time and time again, especially this past year, as I myself have kind of been dipping my foot in the water in the music industry, so to speak, but the majority of the people in the industry, right, the music industry, they actually don't like working with rappers. Now, rappers in the music industry are seen as some of the hardest creatives to work with, and this is something I've heard time and time again. I've heard this from engineers, videographers, photographers. I hear this especially from producers. I hear this from managers, A&Rs, and basically anyone who comes in contact with rappers in general. This isn't something that's often discussed publicly, so this might, come as a surprise if you're hearing this for the first time. The truth is, people don't want to ruffle feathers or risk damaging the relationships they've built. And while I won't be naming any names, I've got a wow story to share with you. Stick around until the end of this video to hear.
Oh shit.
All right. Now, people in general don't like working with rappers because there's a specific type of behavior that comes with working with them. As an example, it's generally agreed that rappers are very bad with being on time in the music industry. Most rappers have zero professionalism, like I'm talking zero. The majority don't really know how to conduct themselves in a business setting, aside from outright ignorance, okay, just like straight ignorance and zero professionalism. A lot of rappers show up to meetings high off their mind, perked up, leaned out, zanned out, you name it. And to go along with the professionalism aspect, leaned out, zanned out, you name it. And to go along with the professionalism aspect, rappers are known for not paying people in the music industry. So as an example, let me share a quick story before we keep.
Also, rappers are also known to not get paid themselves, though. Let's be real. These labels be fucking rappers. Well, they be fucking all the musicians, honestly. Let me not say that.
talking. One time I heard this story, and I'm not gonna say any names, but there's this engineer who works in the music industry. He mainly works with major label artists, and this engineer one time was working with a rapper, decently sized. Some of y'all actually might have him on your playlist, and they were in the studio. Mind you, this was the first time they're working together, and there was a disagreement about, let's just say, a simple disagreement about the payment process, and one thing led to another. And this poor guy got beat up by this rapper and his entourage. Long story short, he ended up getting, he didn't get paid for his work, and he also ended up getting sent to the ER. Now that's just one story.
That's crazy. We jumping niggas over that? That's wild.
Out of the dozens on top of the dozens of stories that I've heard involving rappers being, honestly, for lack of better words, shitty. And the reason why I bring this up is not to sit here and demonize hip-hop or artists in the culture. I'm not only a voice in the genre, but I'm a rapper and singer myself. I make music, and all I'm saying is we have a
What you mean you're a rapper and singing yourself? He still raps? I seen him make that one song that people was reacting to, where he like sounded like Nav. I thought that was like a little one-off, little jokey thing. Like I didn't know he really. Okay, my boy got the dyed twist and shit, and now he rap. I didn't know.
cultural and class
My
issue in
fault.
hip-hop, which has painted rappers in an extremely bad light. People see us as difficult to work with. I mean, when the most important person, the engineer, doesn't get paid and gets sent to the ER, it's an issue, right? When people have this perspective of rappers, that they have, zero professionalism and whatnot, and that they don't know how to be on time, and that they like bring 1,000 niggas to the studio who are all hotheads and they're all on perk 30s and leaned out and can't respect boundaries, and they're known as the musicians who don't pay people, it's a very big problem. So this story right here just validates all those negative aspects of rappers, rap culture, and hip-hop in general. Rappers in the music industry are known for having a holier-than-thou energy as well, and they have that towards anyone they're working with. This is one of the unspoken reasons why rappers who quote-unquote fall off have a very hard time getting that momentum again. Did you guys know that a big part of that isn't actually the quality of the music only? Shocker. It's actually the person behind the music. Because have you guys noticed how there's a type of rapper who they might not have that much momentum and they might be all that relevant to the public anymore, but those are the rappers who more often than not end up bouncing back quicker. Now, ask yourself, why is that? Well, because that other guy actually has morals, values, principles, and he's made an effort to nurture his relationships and treat people with respect. So when he needs some help because his career is colder than Iceland, all he needs to do is make a few phone calls. Next thing you know, he has a record with one of the hottest rappers in that period. Now, how does that happen? Well, that happens because people like you. You're actually a solid, cool, good person. So when you need your back scratched because you're a cool cat, people will come through.
That's life in general too. That's life in general. Like people. What's the quote? People may not always remember what you say or what you did, but they'll remember the way you made them feel. And that shit will come back to you tenfold when you are a consistent, just genuine, positive, decent person. You know what I mean? Like I know hard work beats talent, but I think good morals beat everything, honestly, because I feel like that shit will come back to you. And there are certain rappers that I could think of in my head that probably treat people in the industry so well, and that's why they're able to like come back out of nowhere and always like deliver. But yeah, so I agree with what he's saying for sure. This is actually very, very this is a very good take, very good video, very good take. I like this.
Get it, cool cat, back scratch. There are countless of rappers who've quote unquote fallen off, not because of the quality of their music, but due to their lack of character. And it's no surprise that engineers and producers don't want to work with you. I mean, there's so many rappers who act like they're above the people who literally make the beats and polish your vocals to make you sound good for the world. And at the end of the day, music is a team effort, yet you're out here acting like it's a one-man show, which that's just not the case. So this type of story casts a negative light on rappers as a whole. And like I mentioned earlier, this ultimately comes down to an issue of class. And when it comes to these particular rappers, by the way, Lil Tjay and Fabio Foreign, they don't really have that much momentum anymore. Lil Tjay, as an example, is an independent artist.
That's what I've been saying. They're not Ye, they're not Drake, they're not Kendrick, and they walking in and acting like I don't get it. Like you don't wanna. This was a real make or break moment for their careers. I feel like you see how DDG's trajectory has been taken off since improving that PR by, actually having a good solid relationship with Max on that stream. Shit going well. I mean, you can say the same thing about Kai's streams when he would have people on there like Offset and who else? Lil Baby, 21 Savage. You know what I'm saying? Well, it depends on what you do. Because when 21 Savage was on that Aiden Ross stream, shit looked a little shiesty, but you know, we don't talk about that.
So for him, this kind of thing hurts him more than he could ever realize. When you're not on a major label like him, your relationships especially matter in a situation like this because that's the only thing you can draw from. At least when you're signed to a major label, you have access to an entire network of people through your partner, which is the label. But when you don't, it's relationships like these that are going to help you bounce back and stay in the spotlight. I really respect Plagueboy for standing on business and keeping it P. And by the way, he ended up responding to this entire thing afterwards by saying this.
If you don't respect what I do, I don't want to work with you. So here's what it is. This never gonna get done. Every artist I've ever invited on stream, all them niggas have respected me, I respect them, and we have fun and it's good vibes every time. This is the first time some shit ever happened like this.
Just like a man is supposed to, he stood on his principles, and for that, he got my respect. So shout out to Plagueboy. I also know that he's doing really good on the music front as well, and he has a little bit of momentum. So shout out to another young black man winning, man. Shout out to Plagueboy. Anyway, if you made it this far, drop a like on this video if you enjoyed it. And to all the new people out there, my name is Blackie Speaks. Nice to meet you. Welcome to the family. Obviously, we got more room. So, yeah. What do you guys think about this topic regarding rappers being disrespectful? I'm curious to hear what you guys have to say about some of the industry-related things I spoke about. And, of course, the topic in general. You let me know in the comment section.
Hey, man, good video. Good video. There's also another thing of Lil Tjay responding. I was wondering, should I just react to that shit too? Shit, might as well, right?
Now, Lil Tjay has officially responded.
Shit, might as well. But yeah, I agree, man. Max standing on his morals is like, that's mad important. That's mad important. Super, super important. You know what I mean? And again, I don't like the conversation of talking about how people fall off. I really don't, because I really, first of all, falling off is subjective as hell. You know, one person's fall off might not be the same as another's. You know. And also, it's not always like on the artist, you know, sometimes it's just the way the trajectory or the climate of music consumption is changing. It puts you in a position where you're not getting, you know, the traction that you really should be, you know what I'm saying? So I don't like always saying fall off this, fall off that. And everything's not like numbers. Everything should not be numbers. I don't care what you talk about with it, whether it's music or sports or whatever. It can't all be based on numbers. But these niggas, Fabio and TJ, let's be real, that they're not at the brightest point of their careers right now, and they're not making that shit better with this foolishness going on. Hopefully they could turn it around though, because I don't want to see nobody like down. I also don't want to see nobody act the ass. I want to see people actually, you know, act like real, mature, you know, fun-loving, just personable people. I like positivity, so this whole shit right now is like pissing me off a little bit because like it shouldn't be like that.
Now, Lil Tjay has officially responded to the situation I covered yesterday. Yesterday, I covered the story involving streamer Plagueboy Max, rapper Lil Tjay, and rapper Fabio Foreign. This situation caught a lot of attention on social media. Plagueboy Max had not actually invited Lil Tjay and Fabio Foreign to stream, but apparently they just showed up like a lot of you informed me about. During the session, Lil Tjay lit up a joint inside the Airbnb that Max had rented out for the event. Max immediately told him, hey, you can't do that here. The smoke alarm might go off. Despite being told multiple times, Tjay continued smoking, and Max eventually, you know, Fabio Foreign, who's about to turn 35 in March, blew smoke in Max's face, whether intentionally or not. Regardless, it came across as blatantly stories in hip-hop right now. Crazy to say, but it's true. And it does actually make sense. I think stories like these hit home for a lot of people because, you know, I'm sure we've all dealt with people who are disrespectful. So Lil Tjay ended up responding to this entire situation, and honestly, I don't even know what I was expecting, but I will go ahead and say that this might be one of the worst PR moments for Lil Tjay. He's a guy who usually gets talked about mainly for his music, but he has had some situations with rappers like 6ix9ine. One of the biggest stories he's been involved in the last 2 years, however, is when he survived getting shot 7 times in June 2022. He was initially in critical condition, but ended up surviving that shooting, which is of course a good thing. I'm happy he's here. I even made a video on it back then titled Pray for Lil Tjay, because I've been an avid listener of his music ever since he came into the game, which is why this story to me is so confusing. He's a very, you know, successful young man, but obviously he still has a lot of growing to do mentally. Now, Lil Tjay was doing a stream last night, one of them alone and another one with YouTuber and rapper DDG, where he responded to this situation by saying a few things. Some of the things he said was, number one, he actually said that he had no clue Plagueboy Max was before he pulled up to the spot, and that he had never heard of him, which wouldn't be too crazy because he's just now gaining popularity. He also said,
Whoa. I hate that mindset of, oh, I acted a certain way because I didn't know who you are. Why the fuck does that matter? whether that be somebody you just meet on the side of the street, whether it be a super popular streamer, whether it be an upcoming rapper that you've never heard of, why do you have to treat somebody a certain way just because they're successful and that they're popping? That's, to me, again, that is some bitch made fake shit. You only gonna be a good person to somebody because you see that they have a fucking online presence and you want to garner more attention. Like, that's so fucking fake. So this whole, first of all, I didn't even know who Playboy Mac was. Like, okay, the fuck does that mean? You're still in his house. The fuck, like, you're still in his house. You're still there. Not only that, you weren't even invited. You decided to come over there 4 or 5. Like, so clearly he's somebody, and even if he wasn't, you're still in his home. And on top of that, he's been mad respectful. So this whole fucking, I don't know who he is, shit is some dumb shit. I hate when anybody says that. Successful people, the famous people, anybody. You say some dumb shit like that, I'm looking at you sideways. Why the fuck does it matter if you know who I am or not?
Said that he smokes wherever he goes, which is fine, but when you're in another person's property and they politely ask you that you shouldn't be smoking, then obviously you should be respecting that wish. Lil Tjay also flexed some bands, RP to speaking knockers, while saying that he would pay for the Airbnb fine that Max would have to pay if the smoke alarm went off.
But if I'm gonna keep it a buck, bro, like, I pulled up for 5. Playboy, Plaque Max, no disrespect. I deadass didn't know you. I deadass never heard of you. I pulled up for 5, bro. Everywhere I go, I be smoking. I pay the fine. How much the cost? Real shit, gang. How much the cost, bro? Whatever. You got this whole shit, gang. It's you. It's you, gang.
This nigga's flexing about $600 to $700. That's cool. That's cool. Nice little PS5 and what? A few games. Like, what's the point of this, bro? Like, that shit is so fucking corny, bro. So whack, bro. And the whole time, the fine's not even the problem either. Like, we all, like, these streamers got money nowadays, bro. Like, DJ Academics talks about that shit all the time, how most of these streamers have more money than, like, the mid to low tier rappers such as him. Like, we know the money's not the problem. It's the principle and the fact that the rules to this shit can get him kicked out of it. It's not the fucking money. And this nigga thought that it was cute to flex a couple $100 bills. Like, I don't know.
Okay, like,
That shit weird.
So first of all, it's of course not about the fine that he has to pay. It's about respect, which goes without saying. Also, another thing Lil Tjay didn't consider is that Plaque Max streams for a living, so this is actually his job. And if he fucks around and gets banned on the Airbnb app, how is he gonna rent out spaces to keep his money flowing because he streams for a living? Seems like Lil Tjay completely missed the mark. And the fact that he's flexing the band, saying that he's gonna pay it, makes me realize that he's not taking this situation too seriously. But then on this next part, Lil Tjay goes into a few things.
I'm TJ, gang. I'm in New York. How you think I'm coming, bro? For me, my fault. I came through, fucked up your crib. It ain't the end of the world, nigga. I ain't no sorry ass nigga. It is what it is, bro. I told you, bro. You be alright, bro. I pay for that. And to why I didn't, I ain't gonna lie. I just felt like you like, yo. One, it felt like smelled like weed already. 2, you like on some, yo, stop smoking. Thank you, nigga. I'm a hood nigga, bro. Regardless of the Lil Tjay image, which I'm trying, feel me, keep.
This nigga's chatting. You just said a bunch of bullshit. If fake smell like weed in there, I'm a hood nigga. You said thank you. 3 things that should not make you feel like, oh man, I really gotta disrespect this nigga. You fucking retarded. First of all, I'm not like I don't smoke or nothing like that too crazy, you know what I mean? You too friendly guy, but it can smell like weed without you smoking it. Am I tripping? Can I smell like weed in a space without you lighting the shit on fire? For example, let's say niggas smoked in the car, got on their clothes, walked in. It's gonna smell like weed. Look at the niggas in there. We know it smell like weed in there. That's first of all. Second of all, you said thank you. Now understand, if considering the tone, you may not, like, you don't know him. I get you. You don't know him. The tone might be a little off, whatever. Using your context clues and how he's been around with everybody else, I think you can come to the judgment that this is not on some aggressive shit. This is on some chill shit. Like, I think if we're not, completely slow, we could understand that part, right? Then 3, nigga, I'm a hood nigga. What the fuck does that have to do with any of this shit? What does that have to, like, I hate that fucking excuse. Like, just because you from a certain spot, you gotta be the same way all the time. You better, like,
People make ground now, bro. Like,
I don't know.
I still damn near feel like he was talking a little crazy, bro. Like, niggas ain't never do that. I never been somewhere, no smoking, walk off, hit the.
So he did ask him politely like 3 times, so I have no clue what TJ is talking about. Obviously, he's feeling the pressure of the situation, which is why I'm
He's probably
assuming
talking about
this
the
is clouding
tone.
his judgment, because like we all seen, he wasn't rude about it, he wasn't disrespectful, he simply asked him to not smoke because the alarm is about to go off, right? Also, he mentioned how it already smelled like weed when he pulled up to the spot, which is funny because you're someone who always smokes. It's gonna always smell Zaza wherever you go, right? Ask me how I know. And this is where things get
That's what
very
I'm
bad,
talking
because he
about.
mentions how he's a hood nigga, right? Essentially saying that, hey, you can't tell me what to do, man. Hood ninja or not doesn't give you the right to do what the hell you want to do in people's spaces. That's common sense. Common decency. It doesn't take an astronaut to realize that, okay? But this is way worse because he says that if he wasn't on camera, he would have slapped Black Boy Max.
2-3 minutes, I pulled up, and it's like, you feel me? My son said, yo,
Yeah, I seen some of this.
yo, can you not smoke? Excuse me, a thank you or appreciate it. Like that, immediately. I ain't even put the blunt out. I'm like, you think I've been in jail, bro. Like, I ain't gonna lie, I've been in jail as a minor, bro. I was a felon at 30.
What the fuck? Like, again, what does that have to do with anything? Like, bro, I think niggas just need therapy and to just figure some shit out, because we talking about a bunch of nothing right now. Like, okay, you went to jail as a minor. What does that have to do with someone saying appreciate you to them asking you politely to just respect a boundary that's not even put in place by them, but by the people that is lending the space to that person? You know, you see what you see where I'm getting at?
13. I don't know who supposed to think Lil TJ is, bro. You feel me? Excuse me, appreciate it.
Stop talking
What
about
type
yourself.
of reaction you really think you gonna get from that, gang? Like, you think you my mother, bro? Like, for real, niggas slap the shit out of you. I'm on camera, bro, so I'm woo-woo, like, you feel me? So, like, you get a little cold shoulder, like, who you talking to, feel me? And I'm like, I ain't gonna lie to you. And I don't got no problem saying that. I'm damn near mind blown. Niggas don't even care that much, bro. It's like, I'm looking like, woo, I'm here for 5 years and I'm just out, bro. I ain't even know that nigga was a streamer, though.
So there's a couple things I want to talk about here. First,
Yo, no shade to DDG. I never really, you know what I'm saying? I don't really know DDG that like too well. I just seen him for his beefs and shit. Feel like he should have said a little something there to, like, you know what I mean, offset that. Like, if you really fuck with, you know, somebody, I'm not just gonna let nobody talk about slapping my homeboy. It's just like, that's just crazy to me. But you know, that's just a little something I noticed.
First of all, I will say that I'm disappointed to see that Lil TJ thinks like this. 23 is young, but not young enough to not realize where he went wrong. Also, this entire hood nigga mentality, gotta touch on that really quickly. You guys could hear what Lil TJ said. He said, I was a felon at 13. I don't know why that's relevant, but that's what he said. And then he kind of followed up with saying, you can't let nobody speak to me like that.
Right.
People with this type of mindset, often, you know, rooted in the street or hood mentality, tend to see a simple, polite request as a form of disrespect or someone trying to play in their face. And there's a logical explanation for this, because growing up in a rough environment where survival is key often leads to the development of defense mechanisms. And these defense mechanisms are rooted in hypermasculinity, and they're of course designed to prevent vulnerability and avoid being seen as a victim. I can understand where he's coming from, but at a certain point, especially as a grown man, we have to stop using our past circumstances as an excuse for disrespecting others. Being a felon at 13 has nothing to do with your current reality, because you're a famous, successful rapper with access to wealth and opportunities. That's your actual reality, right? And one of my longtime viewers hit the nail on the head.
See, that's real shit. Everything he just broke down is real shit. The hood nigga mentality where you well, in every facet of your life, you got to make sure that you are on top. You can't be under nobody. You don't, conform to anyone's authority. You're never the victim. That's a real thing, and I'm sure that's the thing that a lot of these rappers go through. But I just feel weird going into like hyper analytical think pieces on the psychology of like the trauma that they faced growing up, because I feel like there's a lot of factors and a lot of shit in there that could really like throw you off, you know what I mean? But like, I agree with him though. I really, really do. And he's right, that shit is not an excuse. It's really not, especially in such a calm, tame conflict. It's like not, it shouldn't even be a conflict, you know what I'm saying? But it's just sad to see that niggas can have accomplished so much. And TJ talked about accomplishing shit in that same clip when he was talking to DDG. you accomplish so much but still have such a limited perspective on how to like just move in an environment. And it's kind of like it's ridiculous because that same environment you were in that you didn't know how to properly just vibe in could have been like the propel you needed to like get back into people's conversations for actual listenable rap. You know what I mean? But hey, man, that's what it is.
Shout out to Yeah No. She said, masculinity and fragility are often confused in hip hop, and it's honestly sad. Completely
Facts.
agree, because it's 2025. This street mentality needs to go. With so many opportunities
Facts.
available today, why cling to a mindset that holds you back when you could be influencing others positively and making a real difference in the world? Please tell me why. The reason why so many young black men fall into this mindset is, first and foremost, the absence of father figures in their lives. As a result, the
we taking it there? Oh shit. Okay. Fuck.
end up idolizing neighborhood drug dealers or rappers who pretend to have been those dealers. They mistakenly see that as the image of what it means to be a man, and I'm focusing on young black men because that's what I can personally relate to. But this isn't exclusive to one
That's
group
true.
of people. I mean, in general, especially on the internet, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about, but you can see how the men who gain all the support are these so-called alpha males who are overly loud and aggressive. But let's be real, you know, these types of people are usually overcompensated for something.
I've lived the lowest lows and the highest highs.
Well, what's the distinction? After you make X amount, hundreds of thousands of dollars, if you look at the studies done on this, it does not.
I don't fit
hugely-
no fucking studies.
It does not
bro.
hugely improve a person's life.
Are you proud of who the fuck
Bro,
you are?
why
Well,
don't
look
you
at.
even
Are
let
you
me
proud?
get-
If you look in the mirror, would you guys say this motherfucker's proud of who the fuck he is? That's a bag of trash, dude. Pull your fucking shirt
Because
off.
I've been.
Yo, being called a bag of trash is wildly descriptive. Like, he didn't even just call you, oh, that's a trash nigga. He said you are a bag of he said you are a bag of trash. That's fucking ridiculous. Jesus.
Tell me you're fucking proud
Because
of yourself.
I've been to fucking prison.
Jesus Christ,
Because
look
I've been
at
to
you,
prison?
bro. You got 10-inch arms and tits. Men don't have tits. you
No,
guys.
they go to prison where they get fucked.
Yeah,
where
they
get
do.
fucked up the.
You've never been to prison. Look,
That's
he's talking
what
about shit you
happens.
don't know. No.
A man who constantly has to scream and shout to prove himself is rarely as secure as he wants you to believe. And that's a fact. This kind of mindset obviously only leads to two outcomes: the graveyard and, you know, a small
Why was he talking about prison and raped up the ass? Oh, I can't say that on YouTube. Fuck. I'm leaving it in. Why are they talking about that though? I don't know. I need some context to that clip. But yeah, let me listen to what this guy's saying. Sorry.
fact. This kind of mindset obviously only leads to two outcomes: the graveyard and, you know, a small cell where other men control every aspect of your life. Just take a look at the countless examples out there. It's a destructive path with no real wins. And it's so crazy how this still plagues so many young minds out there. This is one of the reasons why YNs are a thing now. YNs being young ninjas, right? The straight up belligerence and lack of respect for other people is just so sad. And when it comes to Lil Tjay, by the way, we know that he's an independent artist now, and if you don't nurture these types of relationships,
Hey, yo, real talk. In high school, niggas used to say, I used to have a little braids and twists and shit. Niggas used to say I look like Lil Tjay, bro. Is that true? I don't see it. I do not think I look like Lil Tjay. I'm gonna be so real. Come on now. And my hair actually grows. This shit stays at that length for forever. I don't know what that's about. Like, come on now. Like, I don't. Really look. Really look. Nah.
because streamers are the new rappers, you're gonna get left behind. I mean, you guys see all these mainstream celebrities run into Kai Cenat.
Okay,
like
so
Usain
that
Bolt.
picture,
You're gonna get left
that picture a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, that picture a little bit. Maybe a little bit. Maybe a little bit in that picture. Maybe. Nah, fuck that. That's crazy.
behind. I mean, you guys see all these mainstream celebrities run into Kai Cenat like Usain Bolt. If you guys only knew how much he's getting paid from these record labels, Kai Cenat is having a full course meal that boy's eating. And overall, people just want to support someone who they feel like is a decent human being, and I don't think Lil Tjay realizes what he did. I think all rappers can learn from this particular situation. At the end of the day, you gotta drop the ego, because it seems like that's the downfall of a lot of rappers. When you build an image on being seen as hard, that's something you gotta maintain, which honestly just sounds so exhausting, because imagine walking around all day not being able to just relax. It's one thing if you're still in the hood, I get it, but if you make it out, wasn't that the reason why you worked so hard? To relax and enjoy your life? I hope Lil Tjay takes this experience as a learning opportunity. He has a promising career ahead of him, but situations like this can leave a stain on his reputation. Acting this way in such a public story can damage relationships and close doors that could have been valuable to his growth and success. People who are ready to bless you with the right opportunities may now hold back because they see how you treat other people. This is a very real consequence, but it's something many rappers don't seem to consider. A wave of negative press only adds to the damage, making it harder to build trust and secure future opportunities. There's more people who pay attention to you than you could ever realize. Trust me when I say that. Anyway, if you made it this far, that means that you enjoyed this video.
Everything you said was facts. Everything you said was facts. The community is over the tough guy persona. I'm so sorry. They're over it. Like, when you really think about it, who in rap is making a lot of waves by being the overtly super aggressive, like, hood nigga, I don't take no shit kind of like persona? Like, really name me 3 people in rap that's really doing that. It's just not a thing no more, bro. That 50 Cent era is over, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? If you just happen to be from the hood and making good music, then that's different. But to make that your whole persona, come on. And a nigga like Lil Tjay, like, that's not, no one's ever gonna look to you as that. Nigga like 504 and you're fucking 35, brody. You're the same age as Drake and Kendrick and them. Like, you know what I'm saying? People are not looking to you for that either. Like, it's time to talk about, taxes and shit in your music. I don't know. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like the way the culture is leaning is that we kind of want more vulnerability. I think vulnerability and realism is kind of what's been taken over, like actual productive rap. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like the highest of the highs in this genre right now is hasn't been from overtly like super masculine, super aggressive, dominant music. It's been from music that actually makes you feel something. Like, for example, that Chromacopia album by Tyler, people loved it and loved what he was talking about. For example, Kendrick in general from the GNX album, where he actually was being mad, overt and masculine in it, but it wasn't on some superficial shit. He was like actually upset about a lot of the lack of morality and within a lot of the culture. That's why he said a lot of shit like, you need somebody to pay your bills and make you feel protected like I can, baby. Don't put your life in these weird niggas' hands, baby. Like, shit like that, you know what I'm saying? And the girls like that shit. Or let's say, we can even say Drake too. Drake has never been a super masculine kind of nigga. And when he tries to, like, people don't like it. It's like, you're not that tough guy. When he's talking about real feelings and emotions and shit, you know what I'm saying? People like it. It's like, I don't understand why people at the caliber that these rappers are at can't understand the simple fact that people are gonna see through the bullshit eventually. So you might as well just cut out the middleman and just be a good fucking guy. It's just like Blackie Speaks just said. People want to support good, decent humans. It's just what we want to do. I'm sorry. So yeah, the fact that they can't understand that is kind of crazy. But shout out to Blackie Speaks. Shout out to Plaque Max. Plaque Max is going to be a super, super critical part of the hip hop trajectory moving forward, and he already has been in the underground scene. I think we all know that if you know Max or if you know underground rap, and it's only been getting crazier and crazier. So I'm super happy for that. Yeah, we gotta do better. We gotta do better, bruh. But yeah, catch y'all.